These are fresh from the farm, so there's no wax on them. We are not stopping just at where we're able to get to the point where it's dry now. I will show you the next step from there, which will bring you to that high level of sun-dried tomatoes. This is whatever we left with. Look at the beautiful red tomatoes. It not only dries the tomato better. At this point in time, if you want, you can add some herbs. The reason I would not do it, herbs, typically anything green, will dry much quicker than the tomatoes. It will start becoming crispy. What you want really at the end is dry and rubbery. So let's see how far we can get. So I'll see you in 10 to 12 hours.
Oh, mere bhai.
Well, hello there. Welcome to our channel, my friend Bob. For the last few weeks, if you've been watching us regularly, you would have realized by now that we have been picking things from the garden that we worked so hard all summer long, and now bringing them inside the house to preserve them one way or the other. A lot of you might have had an excellent yield of tomatoes. So I stopped at a farmer's stall, and they grow most of the stuff which they sell over there themselves. So I bought some Roma tomatoes from them. I did not realize how much it was. They looked beautiful, fresh. I picked a whole bucket of it, came back home, weighed it. It's 30 pounds, a lot. What I'll do is I'll break up this episode into two, because in my first episode, which I'll show you how to do sun-dried tomatoes. And in my second episode, I'll show you how to make sauces out of those, a spicy sauce. So let's get to work now. We would do the video for the sun-dried tomatoes, even though we're doing in a dehydrator, not in the sun, but the same logic. So we're faking it. That all said, since these tomatoes were store-bought or from a stand-bought, these are not waxed compared to what you buy on at a grocery store. These are fresh from the farm, so there's no wax on them. That said, you still have to be careful. So I went ahead and washed them using a bit of vinegar with water. They are drying a bit right now. In the next hour or so, I'll go ahead and start prepping for the drying or the hydrating part. Do watch this video till the end. The reason being, we are not stopping just at where we're able to get to the point where it's dry enough. I will show you the next step from there, which will bring you to that high level of sun-dried tomatoes. All that said, let's start the process. The drying part will take me, I'm guessing, between 10 to 12 hours. I'll keep you updated. So let's do it. So we're indoors now. You saw me washing these tomatoes. From 30 pounds, I'm taking 10 pounds and see how much space I have in my dehydrator. And we'll go from there. Simple, straightforward tomato aroma. You do not take the eye out in what I'm about to do, but what you'll do is you'll try to scoop some of the seeds out of it. So let's cut a few. As I cut this, you can use your hands to take the seeds out. I have a spoon sitting around here. Both will work. Let's see which method works better, and then we'll just follow that. So let's do it over here so you can see a bit better. It would have been better if I was a left-hander, then you could see what I'm doing. Not all the seeds are gone, but it's generally fine. And from one tomato, we got this much. I have a bowl sitting over here. I'll keep on putting everything in this bowl. Look at the beautiful red tomatoes. They just look wonderful. From here, what I'll do is I'll take some kosher salt and good couple of heaps. It not only dries the tomato better, but it brings a flavor to it. Let's take a spoon, mix it. Again, not all of them will get the salt, but we'll try to mix as good as possible. At this point in time, if you want, you can add some herbs. The reason I would not do it, herbs, typically anything green, will dry much quicker than the tomatoes. So any herbs which I need to use, either I'll use it halfway or almost towards the end. And I'll show you that also. So even though I'm calling it sun-dried tomatoes, they are not sun-dried. I'm about to use a dehydrator. So this is the tray for my dehydrator. So what happened in the end? The 10 pounds we started did 3 trays. I had to do more. So I think we would have started from roughly 12 pounds of tomatoes. Guts out. I'm guessing you would have lost like a few pounds. Once it dries, you'll lose weight again. But this is a start. I started at 140 degrees Fahrenheit. I'll check in a couple of hours, see where we are. My guess is that it will take good 10 to 12 hours, if not longer. Now keep in mind, if you don't have a dehydrator, you can also do the same thing in your oven. Just use a baking sheet, put some kind of a one of those materials that it does not stick to the baking sheet, and go with 140 and see if you have to increase the heat. Don't increase too much, because towards the end, if the heat is too high, it will start become crispy. What you want really at the end is dry and rubbery. So let's see how far we can get. So I'll see you in 10 to 12 hours. So we're going out for 4 hours already. I started at 140 degrees Fahrenheit. But after 2 hours, I realized, just if you look at this one, there was a lot of liquid sitting in, and I didn't want to turn it around because it was just created a mess in my hydrator. So I moved the heat to 155. That's actually maximum my hydrator can go. If you look at it, most of the liquid is going away. The ones which are closer to the heat, because the way these things are, they don't like produce heat everywhere properly. What I'll do is I'll run it at 155 another 2 hours. At that time, I'll come back and see, and I'll turn some of these around so that the tomatoes which are in the front go in the back and vice versa. For the last 6 hours, I've been doing 155 Fahrenheit. This is what I was showing, that this has to turn around now. Okay, so not everything has dried yet. What I have done is, some of them which have dried, I picked those. Then I have some fresh garlic that I peeled, which is in there, and some dried rosemary. And a few days ago, I had jalapeno that I dried. So a couple of those are in there. Bit of olive oil. Right now, just little bit. Should be enough. This is just to get the flavors together. I still have most of my tomatoes in the dehydrator. It's just that the few which were drying, I pulled those out. Mix it well. This is what it looks like. From here, I will wait for the rest of them to dry, add them in here, and then have these couple of jars that I'll use to put them in there. Till the others dry, I'll just cover this, leave it like this. And once we're done, I think another 3 to 4 hours, and then we'll be ready. You need to make sure that there's nothing which has liquid on it. This one has, so this will be my snack, because that will create fungus. All of this goes in. £12 of tomatoes. This is what we got out of it. What does the sign says? It says around, yeah, it's between 8 and 12 cups. I was about to use these containers, but then I realized it'll be a bit difficult to pack in these, so I came back to our regular mason jars. Mix it well. I'll use my hand over here now. I'll do layering in a way that I can have some ginger showing, some garlic showing now and then. And let's put the lid, because we got roughly 8 ounces. So 16. So by the time we're done, 20 ounces. 16 ounces a pound. So a bit over a pound of this stuff. I'll put some oil that will give it some weight. But really, 12 pounds of tomatoes did this. So let me go ahead, pack these, and then I'll see you. So I went for a smaller jar, so it looks full. I wipe this. Now what we do is add extra virgin olive oil. You have to make sure that it comes over. Right now it's not, and I'll tell you why I did it this way. Because I want to take my wooden spoon and push them down a bit. And then see if everything looks right. Here we go. Now it looks all good. The beauty of this is having this much olive oil. You can take a spoon or two of olive oil and just use that, because it will be very nicely flavored. The olive oil eventually will seep in there, and it shouldn't be an issue. I'll keep an eye on it for the next couple of days just to see if with it settling down, there's still enough olive oil. I don't think you can see it. I just saw it. There were bubbles happening, and things are settling already. So this is what we got. 2 of these and a smaller jar. As I said, from almost 13 pounds of tomatoes. I snagged on a few, but not too many. We got around 20 ounces of sun-dried tomatoes. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.